In the international Bait of this year, we prostrated in Sajdah. During the international Bait of this year, we prostrated in Sajdah.
Yes.
So please kindly give us the reason of the Sajdah.
Sajdah is an expression of extreme gratitude to Allah, isn't it? So it is quite common for man to prostrate to God whenever he hears a piece of good news. What happened previously, during the previous annual baths at the conference here in London, the number of those who converted to Ahmadiyyat was consistently doubling up. Until the year before, it reached 800,000 some. And it seemed to be such a big figure to all alike, the Ahmadis and non-Ahmadis, everybody, and Christians. They thought this amazing. In 1 year, for any religious community to spread to that number, and because of this most wonderful thing to have happened, all Ahmadis all over the world started shouting Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. That is also one expression which is great. But when God doubled the number even from 800,000, and for the first time it went across 1 million target and ran into 1.6 million. Then, even if we had shouted our throat out hoarse, still we could not do it. So I thought the best way is to prostrate. Because when you shout loudly Allahu Akbar, there still enters a sense of jubilation which is personal to you. Many a time I have seen people shouting Allahu Akbar while they mean we are great, we've done something big. So that is which I never liked. That is why many times I would tell Khudam and others to stop shouting Allahu Akbar. Not that I don't like to hear, but I know sometimes people out of their own personal ego begin to shout the name to be caught by the camera or saying Allahu Akbar like this, and the name of God is drowned in the shouts of his own name, and the ego emerges. So I have to keep eye on human psyche, and I have to be watchful for the dangers, of the path to Allah. So that is why this time I decided, I said no shouts whatsoever. Just prostrate to Allah. And instead of saying Akbar, say Allah. Subhan Rabbiyal Ala, Subhan Rabbiyal Ala. And that quiet prostration will go entirely to God. Nobody knows what you're saying in your sajda. So that is why, and nobody's head is above other person's head. Nobody's voice is above the voice of his fellow brothers. But in takbir, one person stands up and he said, Allahu Akbar, like this. So he wants to be caught by the eye of the camera. And generally some are caught, and it creates more desire among the people to be caught doing Allahu Akbar with such a big noise. But is it really God? Could be. But it's mixed up, the case becomes a bit doubtful. So in some cases, of course, they can be carried with overwhelming zeal for the love of God, and it happens. We can't say every case is not genuine. But some professional-like people enter this and pollute the air by their personal desire to be shown, to be seen by others. So that is why I said I'm not going to give them any chance this time. So I'm going to prostrate, you also prostrate. So the whole world prostrated. I think it was much grander than the Nara Takbir. Don't you think so? Yes. So thank you for asking the significance why I did it. Nobody else ever asked me.